This is Moments with Foo with James Foo Torres, better known as Foo, the show that takes you around the world to share interviews with some of the most successful and relevant people on the planet, hear their stories, and get the most important business lessons they have learned on their road to success, and get exclusive advice on how to implement their success into your life and business. Moments with Foo is brought to you by the Strategic Advisor Board and your host, Foo.
Hello and welcome to Moments with Foo. I'm your host, James Foo Torres, but you can call me Foo, hence the name of the podcast. And today I have Jake Darr. He's the founder of Talent Acquisition Blueprint. And I'm going to let him tell you more about that. But first, Jake, how are you?
Good, brother. How are you?
Doing good. Just very busy, a lot of things, but I'm excited to get into this because talent acquisition has been my biggest struggle, just to be completely transparent. And I said it a lot of times, so my audience does know about it. So, let's kick it off with a quick introduction about yourself and your company.
Yeah, cool. So I hope everybody's doing great today. We're about to drop a bomb on you with talent acquisition. I'm Jacob Darr. You can call me Jake. I have lots of experience within talent acquisition. So my whole career has been spent in corporate America, talent acquisition, all the way up to chief talent officer for a 10,000 person company. Decided to open a recruiting firm called Darr Associates. It's in operation today. So we heavily recruit very difficult positions, lots of manufacturing, lots of leadership. As a spinoff of that, we opened another company called Talent Acquisition Blueprint. That's my true baby. It's a coaching group. So we coach corporate talent acquisition, HR groups. We pull the curtain back on headhunting agencies. How are we so effective? How do we do what we do? So yeah, that's a little bit of information about me.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. And I'm excited to get into this because, like I said earlier, this talent acquisition has been my biggest struggle. And I know that I'm not alone on that because every time that I talk to people, they always say their own stories and nightmares and stuff that they have gone through. So what is some advice or actionable tips that you have for founders or just recruiters that are looking for the right talent for the right company and they might not have to do it the most efficient way?
Yes, so it all goes back to, in my opinion, and I'm sure most people watching this either own a business or you're an entrepreneur, and you think your main job is to get sales or whatever it is. And I would argue with that your main job is a recruiter. Even though you aren't a recruiter, you are your company's best recruiter. So we have to think about talent acquisition as a long-term strategy, a marathon, not a sprint. We should always, even if we don't have positions open, we should always be networking. And if we are at the airport, if we're at a conference and we find somebody, they're like, wow, this person might be good for my company, or they have talent that I need, write that information down. Remember their name, remember who they are, put them in a database so you can go back years later and find that person. That's huge. Many people don't do that.
Yeah, no, I see that how that can make a big change, and thanks for bringing that up. And what are some challenges or friction points that you see from people like, look, I know that I have to get the best talent. I know that just by going cheap and just getting in someone that might not be a good fit, might not be the best way. Like a lot of people kind of agree with those things, but there's always like the challenge of like, oh, okay, the budget and how to do the right things, when to hire, not overhire. So is that, along those lines, or just maybe just go a different line because you know better than me, what are some challenges or friction points that you see from employers when they are looking to hire people?
Well, the biggest challenge point is the employer, or the one wanting to hire, is not a good leader. They're not someone we would want to hang out with or be around. And you might say, well, Jacob, we don't want to hang out with the people. They're here to work. It's not how it works. So you have to set your company up and you have to brand yourself in a way that you want to attract people. People need to want to work for your company far beyond salary. So if you're not an inspiring leader, number one, and that goes before talent acquisition, why do I want to work for you? If I'm an entrepreneur and I've got this company that I want to kill, and when I say kill, I'll make it rain, I want to grow. I need to be an excellent leader, an energetic leader that people magnetically want to be around me. So that's the first friction point. If you don't have those skills, you've got to find a coach and work on those skills to be able to attract people to want to be around you.
Yeah, I completely agree with this. And this is something that I've been working personally because I realized that I was not attracting the right people because I was not being the leader that the type of talent that I want, that top talent, rock stars deserve and want, right? So that it has been a very big focus for me. So that definitely hits home because for me, it's I want to be the best possible version of myself so then I can translate that into my team. And I quickly realized that when I used to think that when I hire people, they're gonna solve my problems and that's it. I pay you, you solve like, oh, I need you to pitch somebody here, I need you to do that, and that's it. But I realized that as a leader, my team is an extension of me. So I cannot expect, yes, they can know more than me on a lot of things, but I am the leader of the company. I am the company for the most part, right? And then the rest is like ramifications of it. And that's something that it kind of like hit me. I was like, damn. So I need to make sure that I make them an efficient extension of myself. And then when they become leaders themselves, then that's something that then now they can lead others. But first I need to prepare them. I need to be that leader that they look up to, that beacon of light, that they get inspired and they work hard. Because this is something that I heard from one of my clients, Derek Fay, that he was saying that, look, if somebody tells you, would you like to work hard or be happy? Right, you as the owner, so then you probably would say like, oh, I want to be happy, like, yeah, work hard, like nobody wants to work hard, but I want to be happy. But then if you're happy, then you work hard because you're happy in a place, so you don't want to lose it and you really like it, you're motivated. It's bigger than just getting paid. So then when he said that, I was like, okay, cool, that is something that I want to do. And then that's exactly what I've been building in the culture with my employees. So that's something I invite people. And do you agree along those lines? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, brother. I mean, 100%. Look, if you're an entrepreneur and you're building or you're growing a company and you're coming into work and you know you've got certain problems, you want to hire somebody, but yet you're spending most of your day at a vacation at your desk, that's the worst place to have a vacation. I want to go to Fiji, not at my desk. You've got to be magnetically attractive, right? So you've got to have that desire. You've got to get it. You've got to burn it. And that is always so much easier to attract the talent. And by the way, for anyone sitting here, I don't know how to get sales, or my sales sucks, or this sucks. Look within yourself first and fix that.
Yeah, that is true. It's becoming a person of value. It's something that is extremely important, because when people hire you, they don't hire you because of the things that you can do, whatever your resume says or whatever you tell them that you can do, is because they feel they invest in the people, in the person, in the brand way more than they invest on the actual service. Because usually the services are offered by a lot of people, so you got to resonate, especially if it's a long-term thing, like, except, getting on a job. You don't get on a job just to like, oh, like just do something quick, especially, you want long-term. So those things, if I'm gonna be talking to you all the time, either you hire me or I hire you, right? Like we can look at both sides of the coin, and we want to be talking all the time. We want to have a relationship. We want to be able to enjoy the time, because if we're gonna be spending so much time, then you gotta enjoy it. So that's why you gotta become a person of value, that it's nice to be around, that conversations ignite ideas and just makes you feel good and fulfilled. Because when that happens, when you have that type of dynamic between client and employer, right, or just however you want to call it, I don't know what I fumbled my words there, but both sides there, that both parts want to feel confident that they can talk to them, and then problems will happen too, right? Regardless on what situation you are, or on a job, or it's your business, or you have a client, or you are a client, there's always going to be things that are going to go wrong. So as long as you are are a good communicator and you're someone easy to deal with, then you can work on solutions and get out of that. So that's something that I always say is like, things are gonna go wrong, expect that, just now you make sure that you're prepared to deal with those in the right manner. Is that something that you agree with?
Yeah, for sure. And your employees are watching how you deal with your problems. And I always say that in corporate America, watching leaders fail, watching leaders succeed, the best leaders 100% of the time deal with the small problems excellent. If you can't deal with the small problems, or you put the small problems off, you will not deal with large problems.
Exactly. So what are some of the biggest takeaways you would like to leave the audience with?
So let's talk about a talent acquisition strategy, right? So if we want to hire employees and we want to bring people to our company, what is that talent acquisition blueprint, the name of our company? What does that look like? So number one, when we're thinking about talent acquisition, we need to turn our mind away from human resources and turn our mind on to marketing. And by the way, I wrote a book. It's like $7 on Amazon. It's called Talent Acquisition Blueprint. This is the strategy. This whole book that we wrote, this is exactly how we recruit at Darr Associates, and this is how we teach through Talent Acquisition Blueprint through our coaching programs. And it's all there. $7. It will get you all this information. So the first thing that we're going to want to do, stop thinking about job boards. So we don't even use job boards. So when you're thinking about, okay, what do I need to be successful? You need to map out all the qualities that you want within a person to be successful and understand, how do I create that job description? A job description is very important, but I'm not talking about a bullshit job description that you might see in corporate America. What do you really want this person to accomplish? Put all that stuff down. Then when you've got that, and you need to go out to the market and say, okay, where could this person possibly work right now? Maybe a multitude of companies, or it may be a very finite group. So if you want a director of sales and you have a life science company, for instance, okay, so I want to map out all of the life science companies. This is just an example, that do exactly what we do. And then when I've got that map out, what are the titles this person could be? Director of sales, VP of sales, head of sales. And then we're going to create a list first if we don't want to relocate somebody. So maybe within 50 miles, okay, here's 42 companies within 50 miles who do exactly what we do. And now I can go to LinkedIn, or I can go to Dagger aggregator websites like Zoom Info and find, here are their names, here's their address, here's their phone number, here's their social media. Now we have a sourcing list. This is where the recruiting gets good, because you're recruiting passive candidates, not somebody sitting around wanting a job. Look, it's okay. There's plenty of people sitting around wanting a job. It's not who we go after. You don't pay us to go after those folks. We very aggressively go after passive candidates. We have to tell a great story of why move over to your company, what's in it for you. But when you follow this blueprint, there's a lot more to it, but it's all in this book, by the way. You get quality cream of the crop candidates who really don't need training. They're plug and play. They do exactly what you need done in an industry like you have, and they're ready to run. That is where the magic comes from in professional headhunting.
So when you say passive, you mean someone that is already employed, but might want to progress, and you'll have something better to offer, basically, right?
Yeah. They're doing the same thing you need a person doing. They're working, probably happily working, and you're going to approach them with an opportunity. And typically the conversation sounds like, hey, Joe, great to speak with you. Are you open to having a career enhancing conversation? What does that mean? Well, we have a job opportunity. Will you listen? And that's how we approach people.
Career enhancing conversation. I love it, right?
Career enhancing opportunity.
Hands
Why
down.
is it career enhancing? Most people that work for large companies, medium or large companies, they're enclosed, they're encased. For the entrepreneurial world, if I get somebody, the sky's the limit where they can go. And that's very attractive to people.
That's awesome. That's awesome. No, I mean, as long as you have, you're leading with real value. It's like, hey, look, just have a conversation, hear me out. I think it's a great opportunity for you. If not, then it's cool, right? Like just being transparent and being able to be an efficient communicator goes a long way. And I love that, like career enhancing opportunities. I love that phrase in as long as you are coming with something with more value, that then I can see that working out very well. I mean, clearly you're succeeding. So
and by the way, when you speak to these candidates, when you guys that are making these calls, you have to be very kind, very energetic, even if they want to hang up on you, even if they don't want to talk, or if they're not the right fit. Don't just coldly end the conversation, because your marketing is there. So for people that I call and maybe they're not such a great fit, even though I thought they were, or maybe they're not that interested, we'll talk to them. We'll still get to know them, and we'll ask them for a referral. Do you know anybody who could do something like this? But no matter what, even if they say F you, we leave them in a very good, positive way. So our employer branding is great branding.
Exactly. No, that's very important, right? Like that's part of PR, right? So given that I that's my that's my specialty. When I think about that, it's always, it's like that's a public relations piece, right? It's that reputation in protecting that. Look, I'm just looking to add value to you. If not, then that's okay, right? Like you always, as long as you're very respectful and everything, then things can work out very well. So I definitely agree with that. You're doing something amazing. So I'm glad that you came here, give us some good punchy golden nuggets here. And I know there's gonna be people and say, look, that guy sounds like he's very energetic, knows what he's doing. Obviously, you have the book, and hopefully you send that link in the form so I can include that book in the description.
Yeah,
but for people just listening to this, how can people find you?
Yeah, so you can hit us up on talentacquisitionblueprint.com, Jacob Darr, LinkedIn, Instagram, the Jacob Darr. You can reach out to us. There's one other thing I want to talk about too, is when you're building a business and you want to grow, the only thing that's going to make you grow and scale, period, end of story, there's no argument, it's people. You have to be good at putting the right people in the right seats and not making a mishire. Hiring your buddy, hiring your friend, hiring somebody that's okay, hiring somebody that has a decent resume will never make you or your company great. They're the best people, the cream of the crop to take your company to 100 and scale are out there. You just have to know how to approach them, know how to find them, and most importantly, know how to negotiate to get their ass in your seat to make it rain at your company. The only people that's going to do that are people. It's all through the talent acquisition blueprint that we have laid out. And if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. That's my biggest focus right now, because I already have something good. I mean, there's no doubt that, I have clients getting wins and stuff, and the headaches that I've had and the big hiccups and everything has been because of hiring the wrong people. If it wasn't because of hiring the wrong people, I would be even in a way better position. And that's something that, I can be, I'm the case study, basically a testimony of this. Like, look, very, 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 very intentional about hiring, because that makes or breaks your business. It's just that impactful. And just take it from me that I was just trying to, minimum viable product. Let's just get somebody that can do it. And, I could just get like the cheapest or then the highest. And then I didn't do my due diligence very well on really getting that culture fit. And I was like, I don't know if we kind of butt heads sometimes, but then as long as she does the job, I don't care. And then because of that, she wasn't motivated to do the job. And then she got triggered about things that I said and stuff. Like, that's one of the publicists that I got. And it was a nightmare. I almost lost my client. I had to like give her a month for free and all those things. Right. And that comes out of my pocket. So those things are, I'm just telling this to give people that perspective, right? Like what you're saying is very, very crucial. And don't do what I did, do what I'm doing now, not what I did before, right? Really, really make sure that you're matching with the right people, because after you have the right talent, then that's how you can really take your company to the next level, because there's no way that you can do everything alone. Get that in your mind. You cannot do everything alone. So if you really are serious about growing a business, rather than just being a freelancer or a consultant, you need people. And for that, you need to hire properly.
Yeah, and life, look, it's so much easier having a business with people and growing. A small business, a one-person business is incredibly difficult and stressful. the more you scale, the more people you get, the easier the business becomes.
Yeah. As long as you divide the responsibilities, and as long as everybody, you can count that everybody that's taking those responsibilities, you can count on them. And if something goes wrong, they can talk to you. You'll be fine. So thank you for taking the time to come here and just drop some bombs. I love how punchy you are. I love how you're so good at just delivering value fast and punchy. And that's what I'm looking for in here, because I want to be very efficient and really get the most to the audience, rather than just fluff and us just like going in tangents about things that don't really matter. So
Let's get it.
thank you. I love your energy. Thanks for bringing that energy here. Like I'm feeding off it. So thank you for that. And just to wrap this up, I just want to say for the short clips, if you are watching this and you want to watch the full episode, then just link in my bio. And then this was Jacob or Jake, Darr, and Foo, and this is us signing off.
Thanks for listening to Moments with Foo with your host, Foo. Please leave your feedback and visit strategicadvisorboard.com to get the latest and greatest business advisement on the planet. Follow us on social media for updates, and we will see you on the next episode.